It's Offside with Hawes and Maguire.
It's Offside with Hawes and Maguire. I'm Hawes.
I'm Maguire.
There we are. Well, listen, today is February 20th. So right off the top, we're going to, and I know we did it last episode, but I didn't know we would be doing it right now. Phil Esposito's birthday. Okay.
Yeah.
And as you like to say, the greatest, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 12, or I don't know how many goddamn minutes in international hockey history. Okay. Now, all of that uh, leading up to a bit of an international incident happening this evening. So I just want to say happy birthday to Phil, right?
Yeah.
And before
absolutely.
we jump into this Canada-US rivalry thing, I think we should mention and catch everybody up, because everybody's like, let's Canada Rush thing or Canada US thing. That's one thing. But you know what people are really asking about, Liam? I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting letters. You know what they're saying?
No.
How are things going with the hockey pool, Chris?
Yeah.
The Zahosian Brown offside with Hawes Maguire hockey pool,
Yeah.
and I got to tell you, like things have shifted. We still have our leader is still our leader, okay?
Yeah.
Adel, but in second place is a buddy of mine, Gerry, who is now in second place, coming up fast, followed by Chris Baird, then Chuck Yates, and in fifth place, okay, and actually a fan favorite is Q.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's coming along. Now this is where things tip, right? Because you got all this structure, but now the injuries start happening. Guys are sitting out because they're getting prepared for the playoffs. Okay, they're not going out, and they're not going to be playing as, I don't know, goony. Maybe they will. I don't know. But so this could shift dramatically. And at the end of the year, who the hell knows is going to win the pool? But I just wanted to give everybody an update on that. Now, here I am in the sun, okay? And there's no snow here at all. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently there's snow. I got out just in time. I left,
Yeah.
and then the snow came. So, what do you think of tonight?
Well, I can't wait. First of all, I'll echo your sentiment to Phil. He was so kind to us last year. I'll never forget that. I think if there's anything I'll take away from that, Chris, was not only having the opportunity to sit upstairs in a restaurant that he's part owner of, but how he sent us both emails after, making sure we got home safely.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you know what? Class act for
Yeah.
sure.
So happy birthday to Phil Esposito. What is he? 82, I believe.
You know
And,
what? No, and I think he was. Well, you know what? I don't know. You tell me what year he was born, and I can
he's
tell you.
born in. Actually, he's 83. I think. I think he was born in 42. I think he was born in 42.
Okay, well,
That would make him 83. But he played the greatest period of hockey, is what it is. The greatest period of hockey ever in the history of the sport. Third period, game 872. Phil Esposito. It's beyond dispute or debate, given everything that was on the line.
Yes, until today.
Until maybe somebody today. However, then and I'm on a thread right now, and I was telling you earlier with these are actually the guys who did the documentary Icebreaker that I was a small part of. You may know some of the other guys, Wayne Gretzky, Vladislav Tretiak, but it was largely based on the book written on the series by Gary Smith, who was the Canadian diplomat who in fact brokered the deal to initially start the process to negotiate to get the series done. He was working in Moscow at the time, representing Canada, and that's how that whole thing started. So today on the thread, among other things we're discussing, it came up, of course, about tonight and where it fits in. And geopolitical is not a term I'm very familiar with. I don't use it in my daily lingo very often. I think you're probably more adept at that than I am, or not probably, you are. But it has been brought to my attention that Ken Dryden this morning on CBC Radio is calling this next 272 from a geopolitical point of view. And Gary Smith, the author, has echoed that sentiment, saying that they think this game tonight is in that realm. So besides just from a hockey perspective, Quinn Hughes can't play, Charlie McAvoy out, Makar missed game one. We're still missing Theodore. Pietrangelo never came. Can Bennington not allow a soft one? Who's going to win and all the rest? It's a bigger picture, I think, largely because of how Trump has been handling his discourse publicly about Canada and the 51st state and Governor Trudeau and all the rest, and the booing of the anthems and everything else. So it's added a lot of extra drama and a lot of extra eyeballs on this game than probably would have been, Chris, notwithstanding the fact there was 3 fights in 9 seconds on Saturday.
So to that end, though, discussing certain things, and I mean, it feels as though those things were orchestrated. Okay, I'm not going to mention names. Let's say Tkachuk and then Tkachuk.
Hold on a second. I mean, they went the press conference after fully explained what happened. Brady and Matt and JT are on a group chat, and they said, "What about fighting tonight?" And they said, "Yeah, you think we get anybody? Oh yeah, there's guys there. They'll go." And so it was premeditated. Then in the warm-up, nothing was said. But when Matthew came up against Hagel, which we all watched, and you can see he's dialoguing with Hagel saying, "Hey, you want to go?" And Hagel says, "Of course." Brady was standing. The refs had to push him away. Keep in mind, this is his older brother fighting. They've never been on the same team. And you can see, as I said on radio the other day, he's yelling. Well, I didn't know at the time. He's yelling at the Canadian bench for Bennett, of which John Cooper puts Bennett on. Cooper could have kept Bennett on the bench.
Yeah.
He didn't. He put him on right away, so they fought. And then the Parayko JT Miller fight was really just an add-on. So, I mean, it was orchestrated in the sense that the Americans wanted it. Those 3 guys wanted it. We gave it to them, but it added tremendous theater to the entire game. And by extension, now this series.
So this is the question. Was it generated for theater, or was it generated because of political animosity?
No, not political animosity at all. It was generated for a hockey game. It was generated because these guys, this is just my opinion now. I don't have this in writing from Matthew and Brady, but it's my belief, watching every second of everything that happens, and it's including before and after these games, and all the comments, it's my belief that they wanted to set the tone and show Canada that we're here and we're going to punch you right in the head right now before this thing even starts. So
you know what? And that could. So I'm going to say there's subtext here. So I think that Brady TKachuk is going to be going to New York. We talked about this before, but this is his. The fact of the matter is that I think that the political side of things has creeped into things. And guys, there's a lot of significant animosity, and I see Brady TKachuk gone to New York. Within at the end of his contract, he's not going to be renewing, and
that's years from now.
Hey, what's that?
That's years from now.
Okay, well then he'll ask for a trade. I really think that New York wants him. It's a great big market. And
not a hope in hell.
Yeah, you know what?
Not a hope in hell. If he goes anywhere, he'll find where he can join his brother. I don't think he'll go just because there's Herb Brooks, Brooksy, whatever his first name is there.
Yeah, the writer.
Yeah. Who started that rumor and stands by it. Good on him. He said from New York sources are saying they want Brady. Guess what? There's 30 other teams besides New York and Ottawa where he currently plays that would love to have Brady. I personally think he's been the United States MVP. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think the last team anybody wants to play in the first round of the playoffs this year is the Ottawa Senators. We're going to see a second half here. They don't need to do a hamburger run. All they got to do is maintain where they are. They're in a playoff spot right now. Brady's a huge part of it. I don't think he's going anywhere by the end of the contract, or if he asks for a trade, like you're suggesting, I think they would need to fall out of the playoff race here and miss again for the 8th year in a row. Then maybe, Chris, there could be some merit to what you're saying. But if they make the playoffs this year, and whomever they play, even just making the playoffs, it's a massive step up. Largely because of Brady. He's a straw that stirs a drink. Yes.
You know what? Absolutely. And you know what? Love him as team captain and everything like that. The thing is that, I mean, being down here, okay, and I'm doing two match play events today and tomorrow, against guys, and most of them are Americans, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tension, animosity, like you know what I mean. That's down here. That's really underlying. I mean, I've known a lot of these guys for a while, but there's little chirps that are coming out here and there that are like, one, they all love fucking Trump. It's unbelievable that how much they are behind him. And
The election bore that out.
well, and even now, like they seem to be even more now more. And now of course, there are his detractors, and
Yeah.
thank God for them. But it's getting so. It's actually a really the guys are talking. People are talking about the game in Phoenix, where there's no NHL team anymore. Okay, people are talking about tonight's game,
Yeah.
right? Like we're talking about getting off the course just in time to watch the puck drop in the club. And
Well,
so
no, you're
these
going to
guys
see
are
the puck
excited.
drop.
What's that?
You're 2 hours behind us, right?
That's right. Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's 6 o'clock puck drop for you.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be 6:30. These it takes 20 minutes before they drop the puck, but
Yeah.
hey, listen,
Another 20
there's
minutes for the
I'm
fights.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I will concede this whole thing has heightened awareness because of Trump and consequently the booing and the rest of it though to me is all hockey and the fights are adding just as much a part. I think if Trump hadn't called us a 51st state and Governor Trudeau and there was no booing of the anthems at all, I still think the awareness would be massively heightened because of how the game was played Saturday.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know what? And I don't disagree, but I think that the reason the game was played that way, uh, and the reason that they started off with this, melee, was because of all of that undercurrent that's there
I
to
don't agree
draw
with
on the
that.
emotions of the fans.
I don't agree with that at all. That's certainly not my opinion of it, but
Like I'll bet this is going to be one of the most watched sporting events in Canada in a long, long time. And you know what? The only sad part is that you got to be a Sportsnet like TSN subscriber in order to get it in Canada. Because if you just wanted to get it on regular TV, you know what I mean? Let's say you live in bumfuck Alberta. By the way, I've been there, and it's a wonderful place. Okay, I just want to say that. But let's say you're there and you don't have it. You only get over the air. You're not getting TSN, and so you're unable to watch that.
So right now, our TV audience record, and it's because of population, it would be 72, but we only had 10 million Canadians at the time who all watched Game 8. Our current TV record is the gold medal game in 2010. This game tonight, I don't think will come close to that.
You don't?
No.
But we'll see.
No,
I'd love to see what the numbers are at the end. And I think partly it
you will. I mean, we will see them, and they'll be significant. But
yeah.
we're just we
live
in the moment.
Factor.
Everybody forgets we had a gold medal game that went into overtime against the States 15 years ago.
That's right. And you know who scored the winning goal? Sidney Crosby. And you know what? Has he not shown poise, leadership, all that stuff? Got to tell you, a pretty impressive guy. And I know that everyone's cutting down Connor McDavid, saying he's been nowhere. You know what? He's a pretty.
No one's saying that up here.
No, I know that he certainly exudes strength and leadership in all of that. I'm actually really impressed with the Canadian team and how they've tried to stay apolitical throughout this whole thing. Because I know I couldn't. I'd be, now, that being said,
you can't go down that road as an athlete on the current team, though. It's all well and good for you saying you would be, but none of us would. your hands and mouth are tied. That's the last thing you want to do is become a PK Subban type of distraction when your
Yeah.
team is trying to win a mini tournament. So no, I don't think you'd say anything, nor would anybody else I know that would love to delve into a political viewpoint on all of this. That's all well and good for us to say here, but
Yeah.
nobody on the team is going to get involved in any of that. The hockey's got lost in this for sure. But to me, the hockey is still the most important part of it. At the end of the day, there's still a pretty good segment of the hockey population that aren't really putting any stock in this. 10 days, 4 games, round robin, no semifinal, only 4 teams. There's a lot of detractors to all this, no matter that.
Oh,
Now, we're going to have
absolutely.
a ton of
Well,
eyeballs on tonight, for
you know
sure.
what? And you know what? And the fact that the Russians aren't here, and
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that the Germans would have a team, but Dreisaitl's not here.
Oh
There-
no, they play in the World Cups and in the Olympics. They'll
yeah,
definitely have a team.
right. Then there's
And
the
in the World Cup, even Germany's represented a couple of times over the years, the World Cup and Canada Cups. I mean, the World Cup and Canada Cups that we've played in typically have 8 teams. The Olympics have 12. So this is 4. And look, hey, this is phenomenal. And it's phenomenal theater. We're going to have a big crowd tonight. I don't think we're touching.
Well, I will
Vancouver.
say this to Gary Bettman: this is way the fuck better than an All-Star game.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The thing that went on Twitter there after those 3 fights on Saturday night was someone showed Kucherov, who was half in the bag and hammered last year's All-Star game, trying to stick handle through the cones, losing them and not giving a shit, and then going to the fights, boom, 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 saying, which do you prefer? I mean, come on. It's been the talk of hockey, but the fights, to me, it was all hockey. That was all the Americans. That was Brady and Matthew. It's so them. They're a throwback. You could parachute them into the 70s. They would fit in, no problem. And they're a throwback. And it's like the team. Their teammates are calling them slapshot guys, the Hansons and everything. And their dad espouses that as well. His nickname is Reg from Reggie Dunlop from Slapshot. And Walt. He's called a couple nicknames.
Yeah, no. So listen, we're running out of time because we're limited here. So is there anything in closing that you'd like to say?
Yeah. I'm picking Canada to win tonight, and I think it'll be a fantastic game. I think we're winning 3-2, and I can't wait for it.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm hoping for the same. I'd like to see a bitch slapping happen. That's.
I mean, what you asked me what I think's going to happen. What I'd like to see happen, I'd like to see us win 8-0.
Exactly. Well, listen, I gotta go. I have to go. This has been Offside with Hawes and Maguire. I'm Hawes.
I'm Maguire. G'day.